Welcome to another jam-packed episode of the Sports Card Nation podcast, the show that brings you all the important news from the sports card hobby. We'll have some debates, opinions, new release schedules, and info. Plus, we'll also discuss the sports that so directly affect the hobby we all love. We'll mix in an occasional gambling tip or two, throw in some life stuff, and bring you great guest interviews from the hobby and sports dignitaries. And if you're good listeners, we may even give away a few things now and then. Now, here's the guy who wanted the cards and not the gum, John Newman.
All right, welcome to Episode 8. We are stuffed to the gills today. Big show today. One special announcement right off the bat. We've officially named our segments that appear on the show. Previously, they've been unnamed, and we just kind of do them. But now we've kind of coined them. Certain things, so let's talk about that. Our hobby news segment is going to be called What's Crackin'. Our sports news segment is going to be called From the Box Seats. All our guest interviews will appear on the SCNP guest line, and any gambling tips we give will be during a segment called Best Bet. We've got a wonderful interview with Sarah Brannon today. Sarah is from Kidority Kards, a great organization that does kind of customized packs for kids with their favorite teams or a combination of such. It's great. If you've listened to the show, you know I feel very strongly about kids being an important part of the hobby, the future. And we're going to talk with Sarah about what they're doing to lend a hand in making sure that the future is bright for the young kids in the hobby. We'll also talk about what's cracking in the hobby world and in the sports world. We're going to talk about the NCAA title game, Clemson undressing Alabama, and some Kyler Murray, big news there, and NFL. We'll talk about the wild card weekend, and we'll talk about the division round games coming up as well. So strap up your helmet. Let's get ready to go. We love hearing from our listeners. Without you, there is no us. We encourage your thoughts and feedback, and we do care about what you think. We encourage you to reach out to us at any of our social media accounts, and they are as follows. You can get a hold of us on Instagram at Sports Card Nation Podcast. That's all one word, Sports Card Nation Podcast. Or our Twitter, which is at Sports Card Natty1, Sports Card NATI1. Or if you go to Facebook, you can search Sports Card Nation Podcast. That's 4 words, and you'll find us. Or you can email the show at sportscardnationpc@gmail.com. Also, please give us a follow. We really do appreciate that. Thank you. All right, it's time for What's Crackin'. Let's talk about what comes out this week. 2019 Panini Dominion Basketball is released on January 11th. Also on January 11th, Panini's Contenders Football hobby retails out. I'm actually going to open some here on the podcast later on. Also on the 16th, Topps Chrome Bundesliga soccer. Also on the 16th, Leaf Legends of Wrestling 2019. And on the 19th, or I should say also on the 16th, Topps Garbage Pail Kids. And I want to just announce that we're giving away the Albert Pujols and Kerry Wood 5x7 jumbo game used jerseys on this episode here. At some point during the show, I will say a key word. What you need to do when you hear that key word is contact us via one of our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, email. Let us know what that giveaway word is. Everyone that enters and gets that word right, I'll put them on a list. I'll roll dice and randomize it, and how many ever times the dice roll says, I'll randomize that list, and whoever's in that one spot on that last randomized roll will get those 2 5x7 Albert Pujols and Kerry Wood jersey cards, both going to one winner. So I want to talk about the Contenders Football. This is one of my staple products. I tend to open some every year. It's one of my favorite football products. Football is one of my favorite sports to open, to crack, and Contenders is one of my favorite products. I have opened a few packs, not a lot. I'm going to open later on the podcast. I'm going to open a blaster box of the Contenders retail and 2 cello pack. Will I open a hobby box? At some point, I probably will grab a box. What I'm being told is I know I'm going to open the retail here on the podcast. I'm hearing the retail is nothing to write home about. Very few autos, if any, are coming out of these. They're coming out of the first off the line boxes that Panini released. I did a search on the old eBay, as you tend to do, just to see what was going on there with what Contenders has come out. The red on-card autos are obviously very hot. Even some of the lesser players are bringing anywhere from $40 to $80, depending on who it is. But even your kind of lower tiered players, and that's impressive. So obviously, if you pull one of those upper tier players, your Barkleys, your Mayfields, Lamar Jacksons, Ridley, DJ Moore, those guys, I know I'm leaving somebody out, but those guys will command top dollar. So the product's doing well, as it traditionally does. So I think it's going to be one of those products, that's going to be in the running for best football release of the year. Speaking of that, I haven't announced it on any of the social medias, but we've decided to do our kind of own little awards for the Sports Card Nation podcast at the end of the year in the sports categories that we're very familiar with. So that most likely will be baseball, football, basketball. I'll come up with 3 or 4 or 5 nominees in each of the categories, and we're going to call this a People's Choice Awards. So we're going to give the power to the listeners, to the people. We'll come up with the nominations, 4 or 5 choices in each category, and then via poll, we'll have you the folks, vote for who wins in each of these categories. And at the end of the year, we'll announce those winners. I thought it'd be something to look forward to. I know we got a ways to go for that, but something to look forward to down the line. So again, we try to be as interactive as possible on the show. So we're going to give you a chance to say your piece. Who's the best products, rookie of the year, best players, those sort of awards, MVPs. We're gonna take the power back and see what the general public what they have to say. That's you. That's me. So look forward to that at the end of 2019. Well, let's not be in a rush. We just started the year. So, but I figured I'd announce that since we're talking about products and products of the year, candidates, and that sort of thing. So there you go. All right, joining me now on the Sports Card Nation podcast is Sarah Brannon. Sarah is from Kidority Kards. I learned of Kidority Kards a few months ago. If you know anything about the show, you know that, really kids are very important. I started out in the hobby myself as a 7-year-old boy, and here we are. You can probably figure out how old I am 39 years later, and I'm still doing it. So kids, I'm a dad as well, and kids are an important part of this hobby. They're the future of the hobby. And I noticed this group, Kidority Kards, and I was really impressed by what they do. I'm going to have Sarah come on here in a second. She can explain it probably, but obviously better than I can. So Sarah, thanks for joining the program tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. So before we get into Kidority Kards, which I definitely want to do, give me a little bit of the background, like even before that, as far as the hobby. Were you involved even before that?
Yeah, so before we started Kidority Kards, we had actually found Bug City Breaks on YouTube. We go back to our childhood as well. So we collected as kids. I was probably probably 6 or 7 until probably about 12. John was the same way, and both Missy and Chris Plowman, they collected as kids, and we honestly thought it was something that had died off for a while until, we had found Buck City Breaks and, had started getting more on Twitter, involved with the people in the community and seeing how big it had actually taken off.
Mm-hmm. It's it's great what you do, for allowing, kids sometimes I think get shut out of the hobby. A lot of times, you got these $1,000 products, and there wasn't $1,000 products in 1979 when I started, thankfully. No. But even if something was $50, $60 back then, which it wasn't, I would have been priced out. Obviously, as a kid, I probably wouldn't even be doing cards all this years later. So it's nice to incorporate them. I think sometimes Topps has their big league product, which is nice, but I think sometimes even that falls a little short. I think they, in my opinion, they probably could put a few more autos or relics, which a kid would love to pull,
yes,
and that sort of thing. So what you do to me sort of fills that void. I've seen the YouTube videos and see those kids smiling and their eyes get big when they get their favorite player or someone.
The kids love it.
Yeah, and it just brings me back. I'm gonna, it sounds cliche, but it brings me back to my 7-year-old self. And that's a big fear of mine, to be honest with you, is that this next generation of kids, there's so many other things in the world that they can do that I just worry if not enough of them are collecting sports card, that the future of the hobby may go by the wayside.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell me kind of how, who's involved. I know obviously yourself. I know you have others. Kind of the birth of Kidority Kards, how it kind of came to be.
So it's myself and my fiance Jonathan Coker, and then Chris Plowman and his wife Missy Plowman. Sorry. The four of us are the ones who mainly do, the sorting and the shipping and everything else. We've also got David Miller and Tim Hall. Kind of got them. They help us a little bit with new ideas and things like that. And as soon as it gets big enough to where we need more people sending out packages, we're going to bring them on board with that as well. Like our main concern with these kids, of course, is, the safety. So we want to make sure, not just anybody sending these cards out, so people we trust.
Yeah. So you mentioned like 6 to 8 people, so you're not all in the same areas. Am I correct in that?
No, we're all in different areas. So myself and John, we run out of Georgia. Mm-hmm. Chris and Missy, they're out in Bakersfield, California.
Yep. Does that make the logistics a little bit difficult, or not necessarily?
No, we talk on a daily basis and everything with the teammates, and we make it work. We try doing everything 50-50. So donations that come in, we either get them sent to us, get them sent to them. All orders that come in, we split. We try to do. Like if the kid is close to us, we'll send it. If the kid's close to them, they'll send it. So it gets to the kids quicker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, we try doing everything, like I said, 50-50. We're all on board with everything. Any ideas that come out, like we talk them through and everything else to make sure the whole team's on board before we even throw it out there. So.
Yeah, well, it sounds like, if we're not being all in the same city, you got it kind of efficient, streamlined, which is a testament in itself,
Yes.
And I'll tell you, I don't know if I'm sure you know, but like what the Postal Service is raising their rates and going to zone shipping, mm-hmm. That's probably going to make better sense in that realm as well for you, too,
yes.
Strategically, Which I understand that they're a business like any other, but it seems like every year I'm having this conversation, So, stamps are going to be 55 cents. And now, I mentioned on a previous show, I'm in New York. So if I'm sending something from here to California, it's going to cost more for that than if I'm sending it to Ohio. where right now it's really just based on weight rather than where it's going. I should say stateswide. Obviously, if you go out of country, you're talking a whole different thing. But
yeah. So right now, that's where we got a lot of people who want to. We've had people from UK and things like that. Like, hey, can you ship to us? I'm like, it's going to cost us like $25 to send you a package.
It's kind of.
We can't do that. We did have a good friend, Louie, who is running Kidority Kards Canada.
There you go.
So he is taking care of the Canada kids, so that way they can get packages at a low rate as well. So.
Yeah, well, maybe it can go overseas, and then that would be something,
Yes.
And it's amazing. Like, I know I talked to you even off air about where the podcast has started and where it is, and you said the same with Kidority. It's amazing when someone gets behind something, what kind of momentum push you can get with something, And
it's a great hobby community. That's our big thing. Is like, it's not just us; it's the community. That's we've got so many donations and everything. That's everybody's always willing to help us out any way they can.
Yeah, and that's huge. And that you touched on it, Sarah. I agree 100% with you. You hear all the bad stuff in the hobby and scammers and forgers and people not paying or sending, and that's always, unfortunately, that's always going to come with the territory. But one of the reasons I started the podcast is to highlight folks like you and the good in the hobby, because I don't think it's done enough. The bad stuff.
No, and there is a lot of positivity in the hobby that it's not being seen.
Yeah.
You get the drama and the things like that, and it just kind of, you see a lot of people who are like wanting to get out just because of the drama.
Yeah.
And it needs to be a more positive place for people, but we see so much, the random act of kindness and things like that going on that, it does outweigh the bad. Yeah,
it's like the news, you turn on the nightly news and 80-90% of it's all negative and bad stuff and killings and the president's terrible and I understand they have to report, you can't sugarcoat everything, but I like to see more of a balance, and that's I'm not going to shy away from with the show if something bad's going on. Maybe almost as a PSA, a public service announcement. But at the same time, I definitely want to highlight the good people doing good things, and that's why I'm talking to you tonight. So. I appreciate you being on. I'm, again, watching. If for anyone that that wants to know, I don't, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's you can pick what team you want. It's what, $4.99.
We charge $4.50.
$4.50, even better.
Yes.
So.
And you choose any teams. Like if the kid likes multiple teams, multiple sports, we try to make sure they get those teams. A lot of the kids will tell us what players they like, and if we have the players for that team, we try to make sure those are included as well. Yeah.
Like I said, if you go to YouTube and search Kidority Kids, you'll see these videos of these kids opening up these packs with their teams and players in them, and the joy. I don't know. It gets me.
It's fun to watch the kids open their packages.
It really is, and it's funny. It's a lost art. Even the adults that are in the hobby don't get that much joy from pulling even more expensive stuff. It's become kind of, what's this worth, and that's all they care. It's nice to see it on that level where the kid, hey, this is my favorite player. I love him. I just saw him the other day. I went to the game, and just on that base level, not a lot of like agenda there, other than this is my favorite player or my favorite team.
Yeah.
And that's, we're going to need those kids, if 20, 30 years from now or longer, that the hobby's going to be really viable. So, let's be honest. I'm here, and you're, and a lot of other collectors are here now because we were that kid. If we weren't that kid, we'd be doing other things besides, sports
exactly.
cards. So,
and that's what I say all the time too. If you don't start as a child, you're not going to pick it up at 20, 30 years old, because it's not going to be an interest to you.
Yeah, I'd like to live forever, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, unfortunately.
So we're going to need that next generation. So. Any future, I know you explained kind of the process and what you do. Any kind of, not to give away everything or all the secrets, but any kind of future different things you have in the works or that you can say or you want to say?
Well, we have a few things we're talking about right now. I know one thing we are wanting to start doing is the newsletter. So anybody can subscribe on our at KidorityKards.com. Go on our webpage, and there's a subscribe button for newsletter. We hadn't done it just yet. We want to start highlighting the kids.
Yeah.
So we'll probably start doing, like one kid a month or something.
Yeah.
And, highlights, if a child's done something good that month or, we have a lot of these kids are amazing kids and, they've got fantastic grades or, they're all about the random acts of kindness themselves or, just different things. Because we've gotten to know a lot of the kids. Like, we're not just sitting and put your order in and we're going to send it to you. We get to know these kids.
Yeah, on a personal level.
Yeah, I mean, I can see a kid's name come through now, and I can say, okay, they like this team, this team, this team. I don't even have to pull up my chart anymore. We know who they are and what they want.
Yeah, so you have your own personal touch to it, and which is, that's tremendous.
That's one of the big things we do want to start incorporating this year, and a couple other ideas we've kind of thrown out at people. And we're always open to ideas.
Yeah.
I know Chris Plowman. He is fantastic when it comes to drawings. He had just drew a picture for one of our little girls. He sent it to her this week, but I know he's wanting to start doing more giveaways with the drawings and stuff this year as well. So.
Yeah, and that's something, you know what I mean. You can't go to a store and just buy something like that. It's original and it's got its own another personal touch. Well, it's not, obviously you got your priorities straight as a group. It's refreshing to see. I just want to, from an older person point of view, I want to say thank you. My son's 19 now, so he kind of does collect cards. He's not, not in the same realm as what I do, but, I do some shows too, so he helps me out. But if he was younger, I'm sure he'd be a Kidority kid, as they might say.
No, we've got, I've got a 12, 7, and 4-year-old, and my older two. I would say with my middle daughter, anytime a box comes in or anything, she's wanting to dig right in and see what's in there, and she's got her own collection, but if she knows, she loves the dolphins. Yeah. So if we've got a kid that wants dolphins, she's going through her collection, like, hey, send them this, so. Yeah,
and it's just, it teach unselfish, which is sweet, and it's, those are the great stories you want to hear rather than the opposite side of the coin. So.
Absolutely.
While you touched on something, I think one of the great ideas is having this spread to other parts of the world where you almost like branches, almost like a franchise. So that would be something else. So I hope it's something that maybe Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say.
Exactly.
But something to think about.
It was a lot bigger than we expected. I know we did from April to December 775 packages.
Wow.
Well, we weren't expecting just a handful.
Yeah. Is it? I'm assuming it is. It can probably get into a time-consuming venture.
It is time-consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when a lot of times we'll get 5 or 6 boxes at a time, and it takes hours to sort.
Yeah.
And then too, when we do our packages, we've got them sorted into teams, but it's still we go through each one to get these packages together for the kids, and we're not just, we're trying not to just throw stuff in there. We're trying to keep it fresh for them too. We've got 2018 products coming in now.
Yeah.
So, we're trying to make sure we get them some of the new stuff in, and, if we have hits come in, which we've had a lot of people donate some really nice hits to the kids. So, we always try to match up the hits with their packages as well. So.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. I mean, even another idea, not to put you on the spot, something depending on what area you are and if there's local colleges, even like in interns, if someone needs to do some community work, even to help sort and that sort of thing, so.
Yeah, we live in an apartment complex right now, and we've got, and I didn't know it for the longest time, and one of the kids was wearing a jersey one day, so I kind of talked to him a little bit about the cards and all that, and didn't realize a lot of kids in here actually collect.
Yeah.
And so I have kids knocking on my doors all the time. Hey, did you get any of so-and-so in? Or, I tell them all the time, too. I'm like, hey, if you've ever got a break from school, y'all want to come over and help sort.
Yeah, there you go. Put them to work. If they want, if they want a couple cards, make them earn it, so to speak. So one hand washes the other, as they say.
Yeah, because we don't. Yeah, especially like the kids here, like we don't charge, because these cards being donated to us, like we do not charge. Our packages will not. You're not paying for the cards themselves when you buy the packages.
No, it's funny. I don't want to give too much time to something negative. I did see something on social media that, I don't want to spend too much time, but I want to say it because to explain in context. I saw someone complaining, they're making money and they're sending, 30, 40 not great cards. And, if someone didn't know what they were talking about, and just one of those negative type people. And like you said, that's not the case. All you have to do is watch those YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah.
And at $4.50, believe me, I ship 10 to 15 packages a week myself. If it costs anywhere from $3.60 to mail something, first class package, and that's not including the bubble mailer and the packaging and
we're paying for the website and everything. So we've got supplies, which we've had Ultra Pro does send us some donations on supplies. Yeah. We couldn't do it without them, but that's what people don't realize. You've got the paper for the printer. We've got a stamps.com account. We pay for that. We pay for the website, and what we do send out is we send out a minimum of 50 cards.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're not going to walk in a store and buy a packet of cards for $4.50 that's going to have at least 50 cards in it.
You get 4 cards.
And especially the cards that your kid wants.
Specifically, yep. Yeah, it was a naive post, to be blunt honest. I saw it. And
and that's to be expected.
Yeah, you're always gonna get that, and I only brought it to just to illustrate that just the shipping alone is what
Oh yeah.
And it's such a naive statement that as someone who ships, myself.
Yeah, I can promise you, we've not made a penny off of this.
No, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people now. The people have been asking us, so I do want to put it out there about nonprofit.
Yeah.
I know, some people's wanting to donate, but they want that right off, which we completely understand. That is something we are hopefully going to do this year. We didn't do this in a sense of trying to make it anything when we first started it.
Yeah, your sole purpose was the kids.
Yeah, so that is something we are looking for. Looking to try to do down the road for things like that. We also do sponsorship packages. So we do send to kids, that can't afford the packages, or, I have, my son's got rare disease and everything else. I'm on a lot of different forums and a lot of kids that, a lot of special needs kids and everything. So we will send, when we get the sponsorships, we'll send out to them as well.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I know, I've been, I started out a little bit, not to make it all about. I started out as a 7-year-old collector, and then I worked in a card store, and I got paid more in cards than in money.
Yeah.
Then I start working for that card store as he did shows. I was kind of an apprentice. Then I wound up opening my own store years later, and now I'm online. And it's nice to see those kids. Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but
It's fun. It's so much fun. We truly love seeing the kids. That's what makes it for us.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. So I'm actually, I got to get some stuff together. I'm gonna send you guys a size box of stuff to add to what you have, and I appreciate what you're doing. I'm sure all the kids and other people as well do that. One tip I want to tell people listening, I know what, I don't want this to be an anti-post office segment, but it is the truth. They're raising rates. So I know from shipping myself, to ship a heavier box, it's sometimes best to use UPS rather than USPS. Sometimes the rates are a lot cheaper. I know I'll probably send you, a shoebox, if not more, a couple shoeboxes worth of stuff. And it'll probably come the UPS route. So anyone listening, if you want to donate to Kidority Kards and don't let the shipping rates of one, there's other options to get these items to you.
There's I was going to say too, with shipping, a lot of people do is the flat rate boxes.
Yep, that's true.
So that is another option as well.
Yep, that is true. So, yep, I know I sent an order which had a little heft to it with some wax boxes, and it was actually cheaper for us it was like $20-$30 cheaper to go UPS rather than.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're sending, but yeah, those flat. I've used the flat rate. Those are great, and hopefully they don't readjust those anytime soon. Well, I appreciate you being on, Sarah. I thank you for your time. I thank all of you that are involved in Kidority Kards for what you're doing. It's a wonderful thing. For anyone listening that doesn't know about Kidority Kards, I stress to you, go check them out on social media, on YouTube. If all you gotta do is see a few of those videos with those kids' faces. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say or see. But I want to kind of give you the last word here. Anything you want to plug as far as the website address, where they can donate, how they can do it, how to get that all going.
Okay. No, we want to say thank you for having us on.
You're welcome.
But now you can find us. We're on Twitter at Kidority Kards. We also Gmail, KidorityKards@gmail.com. Kidority Kards on Facebook. We are getting ready to start an Instagram page, so be looking forward to that.
All right.
We have the website that you can order your packages on. It's www.KidorityKards, and that's cards with a K. On there, you can we do have donation spots if you want to sponsor a package. But if you want to send cards, reach out to us either on Facebook, join Kidority Kards, just let us know that you want to send a package. One of us will reach out to you, or DM us on Twitter, or send us an email, and we'll send you an address of either Chris or myself.
Okay. Sounds good. Is there certain teams like you need more of where you get the word out, hey, we're a little low, obviously, more so than...
Not so much. It's funny because even the popular teams, we get kids from all teams.
Yeah.
And, like one month it'll seem like, the Broncos were big last month, or, the Chiefs the month before, or something like that. But we're seeing, kids are pretty much picking all these different teams, so there's not one over the other. One thing we do need right now would be non-sports.
Yeah.
Star Wars, because we do offer Star Wars, Pokemon, Disney cards, things like that. Right now we don't have any more Star Wars or Disney. We do have plenty of Pokemon. We've got Marvel cards. Pretty much anything anybody sends us, we make sure these kids get.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
The non-sports is going to that's one of our lower things at the moment. So.
Yeah, well, hopefully someone maybe listening out there or sees that on social media, and they can definitely fill that void and help those non-sport kids get some nice stuff as well.
Yeah, luckily a lot of our non-sports likes the teams as well, so we
can
pull them in together. So.
Yeah, kind of do a combo. Well, once again, Sarah, I appreciate your time. I appreciate what you do, which I know, as we talked about, is time-consuming in itself. Yeah, but I'm going to get something together and get it your way as soon as I can as well.
I appreciate it.
Anytime, I'm going to give, Kidority Kards an open invitation, any kind of, I know this is a year-round thing, but if you have a special event or a drive or something you want to kind of bring attention to, you have an open invitation to come on the show and promote it and talk about it and get the word out. Just kind of give me a heads up, and we'll make it happen for you.
Oh, we appreciate that.
So no problem. All right, thank you. That's Sarah from Kidority Kards. If you don't know about them, check them out. Very, very good stuff. So thank you.
Thank you.
Check out our supporter, Break Stuff Market, your new innovative and global marketplace for trading cards, stickers, and sports memorabilia. They have some of the lowest fees on the market at only 4%. All their transactions are secure via PayPal and Stripe. It's easy to set up from any device, and they have some of the highest community and security standards to avoid being scammed. Don't wait. Join Break Stuff Market now. Go to https://breakstuff.market. The prize word for the Albert Pujols and Kerry Wood 5x7 large game used jersey cards is diamond. Diamond. The show has grown, and we are very appreciative of that fact. If you are a business, a dealer, a breaker that would like to partner with us, please reach out to us at one of our social medias or email the show at sportscardnationpc@gmail.com. That's sportscardnationpc@gmail.com. We have many affordable options to promote and highlight the services you provide. We look forward to hearing from you and collaborating with you in the future. It's time to grip it and rip it! Alright, we're going to be opening some wax on today's podcast. What we have here is 2 hanger packs of 2018 Contenders Football. We have 2 hanger packs of Panini Playbook. These are all retail. And we have a blaster box of also Contenders Football. 5 packs per box and 8 cards per pack. So in total, we have 9 things to rip open. I don't know if you enjoy it on the podcast, but I sure enjoy opening it. So one of us is going to have a little fun. So let's get at it. All right, we're going to start with the one pack, or the first pack of the hanger of playoff contenders. I think I'll open the playbook last, although I've heard the retail's been sort of disappointing. I haven't opened any yet, so I figured I'd get some. So here we go. First pack of the cellos, if you will. Carlos Hyde, Zach Ertz, Andrew Luck, Le'Veon Bell, Zeke Elliott, Eli Manning, Zay Jones, Jared Goff, Jordan Reed. We've got a Darius Geis Rookie of the Year insert. We've got a round numbers, Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Doris Fountain. We have MVP contenders, Todd Gurley. We have a green MVP contenders insert, Drew Brees. Not bad. Continuing on, more base cards, Jordy Nelson, Allen Robinson, Adam Thielen, Larry Fitzgerald, Jalen Ramsey, Jimmy G, Von Miller, Robbie Anderson, and last card, Patrick Mahomes. So that was cello number 1. We have another cello. All right, we got a David Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Richard Sherman, Demaryius Thomas, Leonard Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Kenyon Drake, Alex Smith, Juju Smith-Schuster. Now the middle of the pack, which has a lot of the inserts. That one's pretty cool. Legendary Contenders, Dan Marino. That's a really sharp-looking card. Not numbered or anything, but sharp-looking card. Sam Darnold, Rookie of the Year. There's a nice card. Round numbers, dual. Sam Arnold and Baker Mayfield. A Deshaun Watson, MVP Contenders. Mitch Trubisky, regular. Edelman, Freeman, Kareem Hunt, Doug Baldwin, Michael Thomas, Michael Crabtree, Melvin Gordon, Jameis Winston, and the also spectacular Kid Reporter card. So not too bad. Not too bad on the 2 cellos. I'm going to open the blaster box next. That will be 5 packs. Guaranteed, or so they say. Find 1 autograph or 1 mem per box. So let's see what we get here. There we go, 5 packs. Let's go with pack number 1. Ryan Tannehill, Brandon Cooks, T.Y. Hilton, Marquise Goodwin. Got a Anthony Miller, Rookie of the Year, Russell Wilson, Darius Slay, and Jordy Nelson. All right, pack number 2. Got a Dak Prescott, Jamal Adams, Luke Kuechly, Kiko Alonso. We got a legendary Contenders insert, Barry Sanders. Oh, those are cool looking cards. Allen Robinson, Adam Thielen, Larry Fitz, Kid Reporter. Pack number 3. I'm hearing a rumor that there's really no autos or in the retail. So we'll see. Josh Norman, Deshaun Watson, Cam Newton, Stephon Diggs, the MVP Contenders insert, Patty Mahomes, Jalen Ramsey, Jimmy G, Von Miller. All right, got 2 packs left. Neither one seems thicker than the other, so I'll just open them in order they're stacked on each other. We got a David Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Richard Sherman, Demaryius Thomas, a round numbers dual card with Michael Gallup and Traquan Smith, Robbie Anderson, Patrick Mahomes, Gerald McCoy, and the Kid Reporter. All right, last pack. Maybe a little thicker. I don't know. This might have a memorabilia card in it. Luke Kuechly, Kiko Alonso, Josh Norman. Looks like I do have a mem, so let me go the other way and save it for last. Marvin Jones Jr., Amari Cooper, Jordan Howard, a Baker Mayfield Rookie of the Year card. Oh, nice. Actually, this is a nice mem. Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson dual rookie ticket jersey card. Green. So, let's see. Is that numbered? Not numbered, but pretty cool nonetheless. Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, dual memorabilia. I'll post that on the Instagram. Not bad. For a mem card, I'll take that. So not bad. I'll take that box. Not bad for $20. Got pretty decent stars too. Mayfield's regular cards and. All right, so we got 2 playbooks to open. These are the hanger packs too. These are 25 cards in each pack. They were $9.99. I like the playbook. Come back this year. So let's see what we get. There's 2 of them. I'm going to open the first one. Again, it's retail. I heard the playbook retail. Nothing to write home about, but I wanted to open some, so here we are. All right, we got Joe Mixon, Marshawn Lynch, Richard Sherman, Jordan Reed, Antonio Brown, Clay Matthews, DeAndre Hopkins, Devonta Freeman, Jordy Nelson, Julian Edelman. We got a Nyheim Hines rookie. We've got a Christian and Kirk X's and O's insert. Matt Ryan play action. DJ Chark X's and O's. Devontae Booker zoning commission. Quentin Nelson rookie. Jordan Wilkins rookie. Alex McGough rookie. Saquon Barkley. Got a nice, there you go. Got a Saquon rookie. Got a Roquan Smith rookie. Dalton Schultz. Derwin James. Nice rookie pack. Mark Andrews. Sam Hubbard. And Tremaine Edmonds of the Bills. A lot of rookies. A lot of rookies, a lot of inserts. I tell you, I like that pack. That pack was loaded. These were rookie cards. All right, last pack for the day. All right, playbook again. All right, we got Odell, OBJ, Matt Ryan, Amari Cooper, Jimmy G. Jimmy G magnet tonight. Alex Smith, Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Adams, Deshaun Watson, Julio Jones, Case Keenum. Now the middle of the pack, which has the inserts and rookies in them. Got a Landon Collins playbook. Got a Melvin Gordon zoning commission. a Mike Gesicki, X's and O's. Got a Drew Brees, blitz insert. Matthew Stafford, blitz insert. Now we got some rookies. Orlando Brown, Kyle Lauletta, Marquise Haynes, Michael Gallup, Avante Maddox, Deion Kane, Denzel Ward. There's a Lamar Jackson, Ronald Jones II, and Jordan Lasley. So I'd like the first decent rookies in both. The first pack was really loaded with some decent rookies, but I'm a playbook fan. I like them. I like the design of the cards. They're pretty sharp. It's time for From the Box Seat. So let's start off with baseball. Not a whole lot to report there. Yes, Monty Grandel signs with the Milwaukee Brewers, the catcher. Machado, Harper, still out there, not signing any contracts yet. Machado's rumored to be headed to the Yankees, but that was even before the new year. It was supposed to happen pretty close to the new year, and here we are. The first third of the 2019. He hasn't signed that deal with the Yankees yet. Harper's been pretty quiet. Haven't heard a lot of rumors there, other than he did visit the Phillies recently, and that's the leading team in the clubhouse. But the reason I think neither one of these players have signed yet at this point, quite frankly, is I believe their price tag obviously is enormous, and I don't think these teams want to pay it. And it's who's going to blink first kind of contest now. I think they're going to get paid, obviously. That's a no-brainer. But I don't think they're going to get what their agents really put out there and said that they were going to get. So now they're kind of, it's a waiting game to see who's going to pay them this close to what they think they were getting. So it'll be interesting to see not if, but it'll be interesting to see when these guys actually sign, and then obviously where. Machado's rumored to the Yankees. I'm hearing the Phils are the leading team in the clubhouse for Harper, but you never know. There's a lot of misinformation going on, so we'll have to wait and see, like we have been waiting and seeing. On a baseball / football note, let's talk about Kyler Murray, Heisman winner Kyler Murray, also known as Athletics first round draft pick Kyler Murray. And they drafted him in the amateur draft with the premise that he was going to play one more year at Oklahoma, and then join their farm system and start his baseball career. He obviously had a wonderful year at Oklahoma, culminating in a Heisman and a berth into the BCS playoff. And he's now having second thoughts about committing fully to baseball, and reports are surfacing that he actually does want to play football. The A's, I'm hearing, will let him go to the scouting combine in the NFL to showcase himself. But if he was to go into the NFL draft, he is going to have to pay that $4.66 million signing bonus back. If he does that, he's going to have to be a very high pick in the NFL draft. Now the latest coming out is the new coach of the Arizona Cardinals, who hold the first pick in the draft, Cliff Kingsbury, who just left USC as their offensive coordinator to take the Arizona Cardinals job. He's putting out there that he's open to trading Josh Rosen and using that first overall pick on Kyler Murray. And if that is the case, if he becomes the number one overall pick in the draft, and that's the intentions, there's no way Kyler Murray stays with the Oakland A's and honors that commitment. And you can't blame a kid. First overall pick. What I'm hearing is Kingsbury views Murray as kind of the next Patrick Mahomes type player in the NFL. That's a tall order. Kyler Murray's very good. We'll have, but to compare him already to Patrick Mahomes, I don't know about that. But apparently Kingsbury's willing to move off Josh Rosen, deal him to someone who's looking for a young quarterback, and hitch his wagon to Kyler Murray. So a pretty bold move for a rookie NFL coach. So we'll have to see in the next days and weeks what happens there. The New York Jets have found their new head coach reportedly, and they're staying in division to get him. It's Adam Gase, who was just fired by the Miami Dolphins. Your new head man in Tampa Bay is none other than Bruce Arians. And as far as the hobby goes, Jameis Winston had a pretty bad year at the quarterback position for the Buccaneers. And I'm reading a lot of stuff on the social media, how a lot of people believe that Bruce Arians will resurrect Jameis Winston's slight decline. So we'll have to see. I'm not buying into that theory. I think Jameis Winston's his own worst enemy. He tries to throw balls in between people, throws too many interceptions, and I don't think he's makes the greatest decisions, just like he did in college off the field. He is a talented young player. I just don't think it's going to translate on the NFL to how he played in college, and it hasn't yet. And I don't think Arians is going to be the answer to that riddle. It's the division round of the NFL playoffs. You've got the Saturday games with the Colts going to Kansas City. And then the later game will be the Cowboys at the Rams. The Sunday tilts are the Chargers at the Patriots and the Eagles at the Saints. I went 2-2 last week, was on pace to go 3-1 until Cody Parkey missed, got his field goal partially blocked. Probably can never go back to Chicago again at this point, as the Eagles surprised the Bears. So I was going to, I'm almost going to, I should have been 3-1 thanks to Cody, though I went 2-2. I'm going to have my picks for this week's 4 games in the Best Bets section of the program coming up after this. So we'll see how I do there. It's time for Best Bets. Let's look at the first Saturday game. You got the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites, and I think I'm going to take the Chiefs here. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think both teams are going to put up a lot of points. I probably take the over for sure here. It's going to be a potential game where both teams may be in the 30s points-wise. So I take the over. I take the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs are favored by 5.5 points. I think I take them. I think they pull away late at home. That's a tough place to go in and beat Kansas City. So I'm going the Chiefs, the over, and they move on to the AFC Championship game. The late game on Saturday is the Cowboys at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are home favorites at 7 points. That's a pretty big spread for a Cowboy team that's kind of rolling and playing well now. But again, I'm going with the home team. Also, I think the Rams turn it back on. They've kind of been a little bit, they're still playing well, but not gangbusters like they were during the early part of the season. So I think the Cowboys' magic's going to run out. I think Dak comes down to earth. I think the Rams will game plan for Zeke, and they come out of there and head to the NFC Championship game. The 2 Sunday games, the early Sunday game is the Chargers of Los Angeles. I sometimes still call them San Diego, but Los Angeles. They're going to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots. The Patriots are favored by 4 points. I'm going to take the road underdog. Maybe it's wishful thinking. You know, the old saying, don't bet against the Patriots, you'll lose money. Probably might be the case here too. I just don't think this is the Patriots teams of years past where they just go out there and beat people. Bill Belichick's still probably the best coach in the NFL. He gets it done. This game will probably be close, But I just think the Chargers have too much firepower. They're starting to get healthy again in certain positions, and I think they come out with a close victory in Foxborough. And that would make it the Chargers going back to Kansas City and trying to do again what they did in the regular season. That's win a game on the road in Kansas City. The second game on Sunday pits the Philadelphia Eagles, defending Super Bowl champs, against the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. The home team again is the favorite here, and this time it's an 8-point spread. That's a big number, but I think the Eagles are playing with house money here. I mean, most people had written them off for dead. They kind of came in the back door of the playoffs, and then a Cody Parkey partially blocked missed field goal, and here they are matching up against the Saints. I just wonder if that same drive is going to be there with this team when they already have rings from last year. And Nick Foles is playing great football, from the quarterback position. But if you're telling me, I can have Nick Foles or Drew Brees, I am going to take Drew Brees here. They're at home. The 8 points does scare me. I'm not going to lie to you. I looked at this spread, and I was concerned that 8 points was a bit much. I'm going to take the 8 points, but I'm not feeling super confident. So I wouldn't bet your house on this one. So my final selections would be the Chiefs, 5.5 point favorites. I would take them in the over. I'll take the Rams, the 7 point favorites at home. I'll take the Chargers, a road dog, getting 4 points over the Patriots. And I'll take the Eagles. I'll take the Saints over the Eagles as 8 point favorites. But that one I'm not super confident with. If we're just picking winners, I'll go Saints, Chargers, Rams, Chiefs. And according to that would make the AFC Championship game Chargers at Kansas City. And the NFC Championship game will be the Saints at the LA Rams. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I went 2-2 last week. We'll see how I do this week. But I want everyone to enjoy the games. Lasting 25 years in any industry is impressive. Lasting 25 as a sports card store is rarely seen. But Newman Sports Cards has been doing just that since 1992, providing excellent customer service and a great selection of rookies, autos, game used, and graded cards. Recently, they added wax products and supplies to their arsenal. To find them, just Google search Newman Sports Cards or follow them on Instagram at Newman Sports Cards.
You've been listening to the Sports Card Nation podcast. Join host John Newman next week as he gives you another jam-packed episode of all things related to the sports card hobby. And a little extra fun, too. Don't forget to check out the show on Instagram at Sports Card Nation Podcast.